Hey everyone, I'm Shaylin here with Reedsy. Today we're going to be talking about how to write a book review. Now, writing book reviews is a hobby for some, a job for others, but for many writers, it's a very useful tool for helping you become a more perceptive reader and therefore a more perceptive writer. Whether you run a blog, want to write up a review for Amazon, or even if you just want to improve your own reading skills, not only does it really help out the writer for you to leave a review for them, it can really help you in your own craft to help realize what works and what doesn't in a piece. You probably want to be aware of the general etiquette so that you can leave a quality review that's respectful to the author, as well as useful for anyone looking to read the book themselves. Let's take a look at how to write a book review. Number 1, start with a summary. Readers come to book reviews to know whether or not they should pick up a book, and a book review isn't too useful if the reader doesn't even know what the book is about. So start with a brief summary, but make sure not to spoil anything. When in doubt, if it's not on the back jacket of the book, it might be considered a spoiler. If you ever do want to include a spoiler in your review, make sure to hide it under a spoilers tab. Now you want to keep this part short since of course the reader can always just look up the summary themselves, so just briefly introduce the concept, main conflict, and main characters. You also want to be very clear about genre and category. Now step 2 is to actually evaluate the book. Basically what you thought worked and what you thought didn't. Opinions are of course all subjective, but try to look at the book as objectively as you can. Were the characters developed and interesting? Were there any details that just simply didn't make sense, or an area of the book that was underdeveloped? Was the plot paced well, interesting? Was it predictable? You can also think about the author's writing style. Was it enjoyable to read? How would you try to describe it? You also want to use details that are useful for readers to find a book that will match their tastes. So is the book heavy on action? What kind of subplots are included? What kind of tropes might the book include? Without spoilers, was the end satisfying? Did it feel well edited? Were there frequent errors or plot holes? And what emotions did the book leave you with? Does it compare to any other similar books? If someone sees that the book is similar or would appeal to fans of several books that they've read and enjoyed, they might feel pretty inclined to pick this one up. Even if you didn't like the book, you could say, I wasn't a huge fan of this, but I think it might appeal to fans of these books. Now, of course, your evaluation is going to be weighted based on what left an impression on you and what didn't. There may even be things that were a drawback for you, but that you think might appeal to other readers. For example, a writing style that you don't typically vibe with, but that you know other readers enjoy, or a trope that's not your favorite, but that you know other people like. Or maybe the book just didn't really fit your expectations, but might appeal well to its proper target audience. When writing up the evaluation section of your review, it's really important to remember that the author is a person who put a lot of time and effort into the book, no matter how much you may have disliked it. You want to treat their book with respect, even if it really wasn't to your taste. In respect for the author, try not to make assumptions about what was going on in their head or what their writing process was like. It takes a lot of work and time to write a book, and we just can't really infer these things based on the end product. And finally, you want to end your review by giving your recommendation. This whole review is ultimately leading up to whether or not you would recommend this book to other readers and to which readers specifically. This is a great place to include your star rating, quickly summarize why you gave the book that rating, and include any comp titles. So to summarize, the structure of your review is going to be a brief summary, followed by the bulk of the review, which will be the evaluation section, and then you want to end with a brief conclusion that will include a star rating, why you gave it that rating, and who you would recommend the book to. Now that's the general structure of the review, but here are a couple final tips. First of all, don't focus too heavy on that summary. It is important, but this isn't a book report, and it's likely that the reader does already know what the book is about if they're reading review. That summary section is really there as an introduction piece, and to summarize the book for any readers who maybe haven't encountered this book before. Number 2, remember that it's okay to have an opinion. You don't need to be neutral, nor should you. It's okay to have a strong opinion, even if your opinion was just that the book didn't really leave a strong impression on you. And you can also make your stance clear from the start. You don't need to include any kind of plot twist near the end of your review or keep readers guessing throughout the middle of the review. Number 3 is to support your points with actual evidence. If you thought the writing style was beautiful, include an excerpt. If you thought there were elements of the world building that didn't make sense, include examples. It's a lot like writing an academic essay in this way. If you make a point and then don't support it with any evidence, it's hard for anyone reading your review to really take that point seriously. And finally, think about where the review is going to be posted. Follow guidelines and consider how professional you should be. If it's for a more professional outlet, be more professional in your tone. If it's for your own personal blog or you're just posting it on Goodreads, you can be a bit more informal and maybe include a GIF or two. Finally, if you are a book reviewer and interested in reviewing indie books, you can check out Reedsy Discovery and apply to be a reviewer and join our growing community of book reviewers there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to turn on notifications and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos from us. We've got new writing, editing, and publishing videos every Tuesday and Friday. Until next time.